What's going on, guys? JPS back for another video, and today we're going to be watching 6 culture shocks in the UK as a Japanese person. Now, this is not the first time I've reacted to a video of someone explaining their culture shocks since moving to the UK, but it is the first time I've reacted to someone from Japan. And usually when I react to these videos, it's an American moving, or maybe someone from Europe who moved within, well, the continent of Europe to the UK, and now we're going to be reacting to a Japanese person. It will be good to get that Eastern perspective, and I feel like this will bring out more culture shocks or things that maybe other people who moved to the UK would not notice or wouldn't necessarily be a shock for them. So in turn, we can hopefully learn even more about culture and life in the UK. Make sure you guys consider joining the Patreon. First link in description. We recently started watching a new show, Gavin and Stacey, which I have honestly fallen in love with. There is some controversy surrounding James Corden, but I don't think that really matters too much when watching a show or a movie, and it's important to separate actors from the show. That's why, honestly, when I watch something, I don't read about the actors. Or if you learn about an artist, like, for an example, Drake, his music, he's had all this controversy with Kendrick Lamar and everything going on, if you guys pay attention to hip-hop in the world. And I just can't, his songs just don't sound as good anymore. That's just an example of that. So, but anyways, on Patreon, we're watching quite a few shows. We just finished up with Only Fools and Horses last week. We're watching Yes, Prime Minister, and Line of Duty, which will be finishing up over the next couple of weeks. We're in the final season for that. So a lot of British TV shows and movies on there. Make sure you guys go give it a look if you'd like to support me and get some really good content. No pressure, as always. I really appreciate you guys for being here and supporting me on YouTube. Now let's get right into the video.
Hi guys, it's Taka. Today I want to share my culture shocks in London. I have lived in London for about 4 years, and it was my first time living abroad in a different country. So I experienced a lot of culture shocks here. As a Japanese person, I think it was a very unique experience for me, and I want to share with my experiences. Culture shocks may have negative image, but I try to pick up on other things than that. The things like I don't like about London video is coming soon, so if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. And yeah, so anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. So let's get started. Number 1, pedestrians to ignore traffic signals. It was most surprising that many pedestrians ignore traffic signals. When I first came to London, I was very confused. In Japan, people respect traffic signals, as it's very important in terms of setting an example for children. If the police see you ignoring traffic signals, you could be fined. I also wondered whether it was normal in Europe. But when I went to other European countries, I found that people were respecting traffic signals well.
He had to have put Germany there. Germany is the king of traffic signals. No, I know that very well, but yeah, I can see that in the UK. I don't respect traffic signals sometimes. If there's no cars coming, I don't. But also, I believe in the UK, jaywalking is not illegal, but it's probably illegal to walk when the signal says you shouldn't in a crosswalk.
Was bad culture particular to the UK. However, I wondered and looked into it because many police overlook pedestrians who ignore traffic signals. Then, what a surprise, in the UK, it is not illegal for pedestrians to ignore traffic signals. Also in Japan, pedestrians have priority in terms of traffic rules. But in the UK, cars basically have priority. If you cross the road thinking that a car will give way, as you do when you are in Japan, you could be hit by a car. But kind drivers will yell to a pedestrian if you are trying to cross on a footpath. Number 2, foxes and squirrels.
Yeah, most of the time, I think people will stop. But to the point of that, I believe if in the UK, right, let's just say there's a road. There's no crosswalks or anything, but you're crossing the road and there's a car coming. If you're crossing the road and you're there, you don't just jump out in front of the car. You're there. It's pretty obvious. And the car hits you. Who's at fault? Is it the pedestrian at fault, or is it the vehicle? And now, would it matter if it's what type of road it is? Let me know in the comments on that, guys, because I actually want to figure out what the true law is in the UK.
First of all, I'm sorry, I cannot say squirrels because it is very difficult for Japanese to pronounce it. So yeah, I'll practice more and thank you for your understanding this time. You have to go to quite deep into the mountain if you want to see foxes and squirrels, but in London, you can see them in the city. I have never seen a squirrel in the wild. When I first saw one in London, I took lots of photos. But I discovered later that squirrels were not worth taking lots of photos of because they are absolutely everywhere. I had also never heard a fox cry, so when I first heard it, it was very surprised because they're like a person in danger, something for help. Foxes crying is a common sound in London at night time. Number 3, dog friendly.
Wow, I did not know that. There's a lot of foxes in London. I mean, where there's squirrels and rabbits, there'll probably be a fox, right? There's foxes in my area as well, along with squirrels. But the squirrel thing is funny. If squirrels were a rare animal, people would be taking pictures of them all the time because they're so damn cute. They've got them big tails. They scurry up and down trees. But they're just not. They're literally everywhere. But even then, people still take pictures of them and like feed them and stuff. I'm not really one to feed squirrels or feed birds. I think that's a bit silly because then it just, especially if you're alone, that's fine. Bring all the seeds and everything you want to feed them. But once you're around a bunch of other people and then a flock of like 100 birds come and just start shitting on everyone because you're feeding them, I think that's a bit wrong. Like, really?
Compared to Japan, I feel the UK is a very dog-friendly country. London has many beautiful parks and you will see many people walking their dogs. There are many dog bins and it is common to see water bowls in front of the pubs and cafes for dogs. I was very surprised to find that in some places people walk with their dogs without a lead. In Japan, when bringing pets onto trains, they must be placed in a special case and depending on the type of train, a ticket must be purchased for the dog. However, on the London Underground, pets do not require a ticket and it was very impressive to see how well other pets got on with other passengers. And British dogs seems to be more disciplined than Japanese dogs. As a result, most dogs are well behaved on public transport. Number 4, old things have value. In Japan, new products and buildings tend to be preferred. Whereas in the UK, there seems to be a deeply rooted culture of taking good care of old things and passing them on. There are many charity and antique shops in London. Japanese people prefer new buildings, and when new products or new models are released, they tend to replace their current ones even though they are not broken. On the other hand, the British tend to take good care of their houses, cars, electrical appliances for as long as they can use them. This is my opinion. I believe that Japanese are overly concerned about their appearance and it's embarrassing to use old cars and appliances for a long time. There is also a tendency in Japan to prefer newer ones for durability, as the country is prone to many disasters. In Japan, you can buy a plot of land and build the house you want there. But in the UK, the towns are unified and sometimes you are not allowed to change the appearance of the house even if you are attempt to renovate it on your own. Number 5, home.
That just goes into that's an amazing point though. The historical significance and deep-rooted history that exists in the UK. Like, there's just so much history. You walk by a pub that's been there for like 500 years. Of course, you're going to want to preserve that. So that does apply to other areas of life in the UK. And I think that's an amazing part about the UK is just that there's a lot of old stuff there. So there's just history everywhere you go. And that's most people, like when they go to the UK for the first time and they talk about that, it's never a negative thing. It's always like, oh, it's so cool. Like you just walk by this place and it looks so old and it's like you're traveling in a time machine. But the point about the Japanese being more focused on their image and wanting newer things even when the older things aren't broken is a good point. I'm honestly not familiar with Japan at all, or Japanese culture or history or anything. There's so much to learn in terms of that, and I am very interested in Japan as a country. And that's just a great point right there that he made. But That's a shame that they just feel the need to throw things away or get new stuff just for the appearance. Sounds a little bit eerily familiar to us Americans.
You attempt to renovate it on your own. Number 5, homeless people. It is unfortunate but surprising that the amount of homeless people in London is far higher than in Japan. If you walk the street of London, you will always see homeless people. I often encountered beggars on the train, and at first I was a little scared because I thought they might do something to me. In Japan, there is a system of welfare which entitles needy people to support from the state. In addition, homeless people are often living along riversides and elevated buildings, so it is very rare to see them in the general community. In Japan, there is a tendency that it is not good for ordinary people to have contact with homeless people. In London, we see ordinary people talking to them and even buying and giving them food and drink. In a way, the homeless people are London-like, strikingly in touch with society. Number 6, people are loose.
This is a problem that the United States shares as well. The homeless people. It's just such a difficult problem, and I definitely experienced that when in the UK. No matter which city I went to, there were homeless people for the most part, and I don't think there were as many homeless people as there are in the United States, even proportionally to our populations. Like, there's just so many homeless people here, but that's a key cultural difference, is like support from the state. Regardless, you're getting support from other people because the state is funded through taxes, which come from the people and then they use that money to help the homeless. Or you can just not have that same welfare system set up through the state, and rather people are just directly helping the homeless by giving them money, hopefully, and helping them out. Which is on the whole, there's just the homeless problem. It's literally, there's a reason why it's homeless problem, because it's just a problem. Like, it's, some people literally want to be homeless. Like, what do you do about that? It's such a difficult thing, and I truly feel for people who are in need and struggling, but I just wish we had a better system or way of going about it, especially over here. Sounds like the Japanese have a solid system, though.
Kingly in touch with society. Number 6, people are loose. In London, I found the attitude of shopkeepers in pubs, restaurants, and cafes to be very friendly. Japanese customer service is excellent, but there is generally a certain distance between the customer and the shopkeepers. But compared to Japan, English customer service is more friendly than Japan. I was surprised by the fact that in London, when trains are passed or delayed, people pass the time as if it were a matter of course, despite there being no announcements. In Japan, even if a train is 3 minutes late, there is an announcement, and you get the sense of that people are tense when something unusual is happening. Also, for example, it is common in Japanese restaurants for customers to call the waiter on demand, and some people complain when service is slow. On the other hand, in London, it was a culture shock in a good way to see many people waiting patiently in such situations. Japanese service is great, but I feel that we also need to learn from looseness of these people. Thank you for watching until the end.
Damn, that was a great video. Oh my god. This guy has some great editing, good B-roll, and I love the points he made about the culture shocks. The looseness, though, that I did not even think about that. People are very friendly and laid back in England and Scotland and Wales and Ireland and Northern Ireland. Although I haven't been to some of those places, I can say that for sure, though. Like, it is not that big of a deal if the train is like a couple minutes late. Meanwhile, it's much more authoritative and, I guess, strict in Japan about when things should how things should go. But that's something I really do appreciate about the UK is just how easy it is to get on with people working normal jobs. Like, the small talk is brilliant. It's literally like just talking to someone. It's almost as if the customer to employee or customer to company relationship is just non-existent, and you're just two people talking, especially like a pub. That's literally the environment where that friendliness and be easygoing laid back atmosphere is showcased in the UK. Like, you walk into a pub, it's just so chill. Like, the pub landlord will literally talk to you like you're a friend or something. So, really good video. Link to the video will be in description. Shout out to this guy. I like his minimalist setup as well, and I hope he's doing well in the UK. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.